Hey guys, how's it going? This is Khan and welcome to episode 108 of Good or Garbage, the number one place where you can find out what stuff is being sold in the division on a weekly basis. We're 108 weeks strong. This is kind of ridiculous. So anyway, this week there is quite a bit of stuff to look at. The global event Blackout is going on with the division. If you haven't done all of that stuff, checked it out, then definitely hurry up and go ahead and do so. It will be ending soon. And if you don't know how to get the masks, or you're curious about how to get them or whatever, then go ahead and check a video that I made earlier this week. And there is a lot of stuff going on. The giveaway for God of War is going to be ending soon. It ends on Monday. So be sure to come and check out the stream on Monday where we announce the winner. But without any more of this, let's get into Good or Garbage 108. Let's do it. All right, now let's move on to the attachments for this week. At the special equipment vendor in the base of operations, the Tirant Suppressor is being sold with 7% critical hit chance, 4% critical hit damage, 5.5% headshot damage, and 41% reduced threat. If you've been looking for something like this, you can definitely go ahead over to the special equipment vendor and check it out. It is pretty nice to use on an assault rifle, so I would recommend it for that if you are looking for something to kind of go with your assault rifle if you're going for crit chance and crit damage. Now there's also a VX1 scope, 12 times scope with 18.5% headshot damage, 4.5% optimal range, and 2.5% stability. The headshot damage on this is really nice. So if you are trying to get some extra headshot damage on your weapon, then that could be the one you're looking for. Unfortunately, it doesn't have crit chance or crit damage, but this is what we have for this week. So if you're looking for this, head on over to the special equipment vendor and check it out. At the advanced weaponry vendor in the base of operations, we have the SR7 suppressor. Now this suppressor comes in with 18% critical hit damage, 5.5% headshot damage, 2.5% stability, and 44% reduced threat. Now I know that a lot of people really want the 19% critical hit damage attachments, but this one comes in this week with only 18. Now with 18, it is not bad, but it still also comes with 5.5% headshot damage. So you do get 5.5% headshot damage, plus you get 18% critical hit damage. It does some pretty decent damage for whatever build you're trying to run. It doesn't come with critical hit chance, which is kind of the downside to this, but if you can manage without that, then you can still try this out. Now remember, this will not work for smaller muzzled weapons like SMGs, so you probably want to run this with some kind of AR or an LMG or a sniper rifle. Now the next thing we can look at is the Pro Red Dot Sight. Now this one comes in again with 18% critical hit damage, 4.5% optimal range, 2.5% stability. And yeah, if you're looking for something like this and you don't mind holding out for the 19% critical hit damage version, then you can go ahead and pick this up at the advanced weaponry vendor in the base of operations. At the special equipment vendor over at Camp Clinton, we have the heavy magazine spring being sold this week with 2.5% critical hit chance, 4% critical hit damage, and 9.8% rate of fire. Now this is a bit of a toss-up. I was really thinking, should I put this in the actual video section or just leave it in the heads up? But I figured this plus one of the other attachments, the loud vent brake, I figured I'd just throw it out there. Mostly because although the critical hit chance is a bit low, the rate of fire is still very fast. So if you are using this with Lone Star, it could still work out for you because you're not worrying about reloading. You are going to be getting those bullets down range very quickly with 9.8. So you might as well give it a try or check it out, or you could just pass on it. I would personally go for something with a bit more crit chance, but that's just me. But you know, let me know if this is something that interests you. Let me know. Other than that, the loud vent brake is also being sold. This one coming in with 18% critical hit damage, 4.5% optimal range, 6% headshot damage, and it comes with 49% increased threat. Now earlier there was another attachment that had 18% on the muzzle, and I figured I would throw this in here just because it comes with range and headshot damage, and it comes with the loud vent brake, and I know a lot of people like the loud vent brake anyway. So if you are looking for either of these two attachments, head over to Camp Clinton. There's a lot of stuff going on at Camp Clinton this week. Now let's go take a look at this week's gear mods. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, as you can already see. At the base of operations, the gear vendor has an Electronice Mod being sold with 202 electronics and 4, yes, not 3, but actually 4% damage to elites. Now I know a lot of people are looking for those damage to elites mods and they don't like the 3s, and now we have the 4s this week. So this is pretty good. You get a pretty good amount of electronics at 202. I know that these things go over 210, I believe, somewhere over there, or about 212, somewhere around there. But still, this is still pretty good. If you are looking for an electronics mods or looking for some damage to elites, you can definitely go and pick this up. And also there is a prototype performance mod with 4% damage for seeker mines. So if you're looking for that, although I know a lot of people are not using seeker mines, you can definitely go and check this out. It's only going to cost you regular credits, so go over to the gear vendor in the base of operations. At East 64th Street, there is a Firearms Mod with 262 firearms and 3% signature ability resource gain being sold. This is a Dark Zone sale, so you are going to need Dark Zone credits for this. So if you are looking for some firearms and signature ability resource gain mods, then head on over to East 64th Street and check it out. At West 39th Street, there's a stamina mod with 260 stamina and 3,310 skill power being sold. If you need some stamina and you want to have some skill power for maybe heals or something like that, then you can go over to West 39th Street and check this mod out. At Dante's Run, there is a stamina mod being sold with 197 stamina and also 3% damage to elites. As always, as I told you guys, if there are any damage to elites mods being sold, I will shout them out regardless of how crappy or how good they are. So if you're looking for a stamina damage to elites mod, head on over to Dante's Run. At Autumn's Hope, we have a Firearms Mod with 267 firearms and 3% skill haste. If you're looking for skill haste and firearms, go and grab this. This is really, really good. So go ahead, Autumn's Hope, check it out. At the Firewall, there is a Firearms Mod with 184 firearms and 3% damage to elites being sold. If you are looking for this, you can head on over to the Firewall and check it out. Now let's take a look at the 280 to 283 gear score items. At the Wolves Den, there is a gear score 281 lightweight M4. Now this thing comes in with 23% enemy armor damage. It also has the talents Talented, Self-Preserved, and Predatory. So Predatory in the third slot doesn't really matter. I could take Predatory anywhere. Personally, I would have probably preferred Talented in the third and Predatory anywhere else. But still, Predatory is an awesome talent that I think a lot of people love. Couple that with Self-Preserve, this thing is going to keep you alive, especially if you have crit chance on your weapon. Look for different mods and attachments that'll give you some more crit chance. And then you have Talented. So Talented, you're going to have to spec into electronics if you want to get that to work, or you could just say forget it and roll this off and put something else on there. Still a pretty decent weapon, 281 gear score, good for PvE or it could be for PvP depending on how you use it. But yeah, definitely go ahead and check it out over at the Wolves Den. At Camp Clinton, at the special equipment vendor, there is a Liberator with a gear score of 283 being sold this week. Comes in with 22% enemy armor damage. The talents that it comes with are Skilled, Responsive, and Unforgiving. Now Unforgiving and Skilled together, Unforgiving and Responsive together are a great combo. Responsive is just an overall good talent to have. Unforgiving with the 1.8 patch, since the 1.8 patch has moved up considerably, but this time it's in the third slot, so your requirements are, not a thing to even think about. Skilled, while it can be a good talent to have with the amount of electronics needed to make this thing work, you're probably better off, especially if you're trying to be a damage dealer, to get rid of this and put something else in. Now with Responsive, again, Responsive and Unforgiving together, there are a lot of options that you have. So you let me know in the comment section down below, what do you roll off Skilled and replace it with? Let me know. Now also at the special equipment vendor, We also have the Navy MP5N being sold, the gear score of 280, coming in with 19.5% critical hit chance. The talents we have for this are Deadly, Brutal, and Ferocious. This is a PvE dream with Ferocious in the 3rd slot, so you don't have to worry about many requirements. All you got to do is really worry about firearms, and with Brutal, I'm pretty sure most people can hit that mark and be good to go. So if you are looking for a PvE SMG and you don't have a house, of course the house is the best SMG in the game, but if you don't have one of those and you need to pick up something quick, or maybe you're new to the division, check out the Navy MP5N. It's one of my favorite SMGs outside of the house. So yeah, Deadly, Brutal, Ferocious, go check it out. Now it's time to wrap things up in the 284 plus gear score section. At East 53rd Street, there is a gear score 285 first wave X45 sidearm being sold. This one coming with Vicious. Vicious will give you critical hit chance increased by 10% if you have more than 2 segments of health. Personally, I'd like to see something better, something a little bit more utility, but that's just me. But if you are looking for a sidearm like this, then you can go ahead over to East 53rd Street and check it out. In Park Avenue, we have a gear score 285 M1911 sidearm being sold. This thing coming in with Intense. Now I know that a lot of people use their sidearms differently. I personally like to have some kind of utility on my sidearm, and Intense is a pretty okay one. It's kind of average. There are better options out there, but if you are running Firecrest, this is very nice to have on your hip. So if you have been looking for a pistol with Intense, especially this close to the cap at 285, then you can go ahead and check it out. Alright guys, that is it for this week's good or garbage. I hope you found something in this sea of stuff this week. There was actually a whole lot of stuff worth talking about and looking out for the newer agents or the people who are just coming to the game or people who may have been away from the game for a while. So I hope you guys looked at some of those mods, looked at some of those attachments, checked out some of those weapons, and had a really good look at everything. I hope you guys got your mask from the global event Blackout. If you did not get it, or if you have no idea how to get it, then go ahead and check the video that I made earlier this week, and I hope that it helps you out. But just, you know, be sure to take your time, go through things proper. It's much easier to go through it if you had a group of people to help you with it. But if you don't, I mean, it's still possible. You just have to make sure that you take your time, do it right. The event is going to be over soon, so you may want to get on that. Apologies for the video coming out a bit later than it usually does. I had some things going on this morning that I needed to handle, so it came out when it came out, which is right now. So thank you guys for all the support, appreciate it. Congratulations to Clarence, part of the sponsor squad. He won the God of War giveaway for the sponsors. The public God of War giveaway is still going on. It will end on Monday, so good luck to everyone who entered.